Hello everyone, it's Toby from Toby's Urbansketch, and today we're drawing Toby from Toby's Urbansketch. I thought it'd be fun to do, haven't done a sort of portrait or a figure for quite a while. I don't often do them because I don't like to use people's photos without permission, but when it's a photo of me and my dad, I decide I can give the permission. So, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do it with a loose pen sketch, as ever. People can also be loose and can also be expressive, especially when the only person you're really insulting is yourself. And let's just see what happens if we approach people in a similar way, simplifying shapes, and yeah, let's have some fun. So I'm going to start just by setting the scene with the sort of body shape. So I'm obviously on the left, or on the right, on my left in the image, and I'm going to start there, probably even just going to pop in my little rucksack arm, and we're going to do this as a continuous line drawing because that's going to really force simplification. Simplification, I always think, especially in pen drawings of people, is really key because you can really go overboard and make things really challenging. So I'm just going to start grabbing the proportions, really, the approximate proportions. So getting the t-shirt mapped in and using the length of the t-shirt to decide how long my shorts should be. And then my knees really immediately under there. So we can sort of pop that in as a structural point. We know what a knee looks like. And then come down. And we can sort of measure and use ideal human proportions and things. I can assure you I'm not an ideal human proportion, so I prefer just going for it and accepting the imperfections, and it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be, my feeling of this sketch. It's going to be quick and it's going to be sort of lively. So I just work around bit by bit, and you can just check things like this ankle that I'm drawing now is slightly higher in the image than the other one, and then that's how you can make sure that you're staying approximately in proportion. And already we're sort of building up. It looks realistic, and we've just been sort of doodling along with our pen, really. We'll come to the other side now. We can just go, look, this side of the rucksack comes in a little bit higher than the other side. So we map that in. And then you can just sort of start to get the offshoot of my arm. And then move on to my head. Or rather, move on to my neckline, and then my neck. And then the head is where we can start to find things are a bit difficult. We really want to draw so much detail because it's what our eyes focus on. But what happens if we just don't? What happens if we leave it really simple? So even this simple, or just adding in like suggestions of ears and key things like my glasses. And maybe you want to add in just a suggestion of a nose as well. But if you add in too much line work, you start to lose it really, because this is so bold for such a small area. Actually, what our brain does is it immediately picks up on faces. So even a suggestion of a face is enough for our brain to do the rest. So I'm going to leave it there for now and move on. We can start to sort of look at what else we might add later. So I'm going to move on now to my dad, and he's got incredible curly hair, which was not genetically destined to be mine, unfortunately. And we just can use that hairline to sort of map in. This is where we start to get complexities building. It's like my hand here. But again, if we just map it across, we can go, yep, it comes out about here. And hands are another one which we look at so much because we constantly see our own hand. We're really tempted to just draw in all those details. But I'd encourage you to just do something really simple. So a hand can be as simple as a cube, well, not a cube, a polygon. There's your fingers, and then if you want, there's your fingers again. So that's your joints, and just building up off this. So you could then deconstruct it and start building in your other fingers. But for me, just keeping it nice and simple and that suggestion of that shape rather than trying to be clever and do everything all at once. Of course, if you prefer doing it all and getting it all neatly, go for it. Just beware that you might have to take things a bit slower. And just be careful that you're not overdoing it. Alright, so that is again enough detail in the face and the hair for me. And it's very abstract, but I think it will work if we just build up the rest of the humans. So there's just a hand coming out. And again, we could just map across. It's in about the same line. And then we've also got a nice rucksack, which is a good theme in this this photo. And then my dad's shirt is coming down a bit lower than mine. Other is shorts. And then there's some sort of fun perspective here, isn't there? But again, if we just pay a bit of attention to where things are ending, and their relative sizes, we'll be able to get the feet, the ankles in about the right place, and thus get the sort of feel of this leg being behind. And that's just through really simply just looking, where does this back foot go, where does this front foot go? Nothing clever, nothing sort of fancy, just a tiny bit of looking and mapping. And these suggestions you'll find are often just totally enough. Then we can start getting some of these other more interesting areas in. Whilst I've been talking, I've been losing the sort of continuous line feel a bit. So what I'm going to do is go round and get these shadowy areas in, just by adding in a few more bits of line work. And then we can also come and find shapes of the face, for example. So we can be a bit more or less abstract. And we can re-energize my hand. And just all of this can now become a bit bolder now that we are sort of happy that we've gone about right. Got this other strap, and so just building up details. It's very much like when we do anything else, just one first go round to be confident and to be gentle and loose, and then the next go round is to just really amp up those details and bring those shapes to life. All right, so that is, two loose people that I think well, I'm very happy with them. I'm one of them, so I'm not insulted. So it's all going well so far. Now I'm going to just add in this sort of handrail. So this is a photo taken on the sort of, I'm going to call it the St Neots Bridge, but a bridge in the centre of my hometown, essentially. It's somewhere I often like to sketch. Certainly done a lot of sketches on the roads around this area. And again, just with this, being a little bit careful with the perspective. I'm also editing the perspective a little bit so that I can sort of unify the two sides rather than have one looking like it's going completely off in the other direction. So I'm trying to sort of mirror what I've done on both sides. And that just sort of sets the scene a little bit. And then we can put in these kind of horizontal lines which just let us know, the context of what we're standing on. And again, if you wanted, you could really build this up, couldn't you? You could be really neat about all these, where these planks are, and you could be really neat about the shadows and things going on. But for me, a nice loose capturing of shapes, of perspective. I've sort of made these verticals go slightly out, kind of opens it out. Again, you could be more accurate if you want and make them more vertical and be a bit more careful. But for me, this is the kind of sketching I enjoy most. Going to just grab some of these trees in the background. Now what we don't want to do is introduce, what I don't want to do is introduce a massive amount of line work in the background, which will then detract from the central focus. So I'm just going to have these lines kind of leading you in. So you see how they sort of, all these different areas of trees sort of float in towards our two people. And just building in a few sort of leaf-like shapes as well. And then it's time to play with the colours, isn't it? Just going to put a little line in between here so we can tell that there's kind of a horizon disappearing off between the two people. And I'm going to start with the background. And I'm just going to start really loosely with some nice green and brown in these trees. And I'm going to bring it quite neatly initially around the people. Neat for me anyway, neat in the broadest sense of the word. And then we can pop some blue into that sky, and then that will start to just mingle and do its own thing. And then we can bring down more browns into this bridge. And this is where we can start to just play with these ideas of shadows and lights. If we go from a nice brown, that's a lunar brown, and then we sort of pop in quinacridones off on this side. A few touches of quinacridone up here, and even while the trees are still wet, if we just try and splash a bit of that gold in there as well. Then come back to our brown, because we got sort of shadows underneath, haven't we? And then we've got sort of loads going on, but the people are still sort of jumping out, aren't they? I'm going to move now to quite a small brush. This is a size 2 round brush. I'm going to neaten up some of these colour edges, and then we can decide what colours are actually needed on our people, if any. And we don't have to add colour. We can leave them. They're sort of jumping out. It's quite interesting at the moment, I would say. Of course, for the sake of argument, we will add some colours as an experiment, but I would be equally happy, I think, really just leaving these people as negative space jumping out. But how am I going to add colours? So I'm going to take a few interesting touches, and I'm just going to do little bold bursts of colour. So for example, my glasses, I can make them turquoise. And maybe I want to use that turquoise somewhere else as well. So let's pop in some turquoise socks. And then there's lots of nice reds in there, aren't there? Red's a nice warm colour to play with. So let's get some carmine. Just pop that in, and maybe a little bit of orange, transparent pyrrole orange, just to let things move around a bit. We can just use the same colours in a couple of places. So the idea of unifying colours by having them in more than one place is quite important, I think. And I might just, I was going to say I might just pull out a bit of colour there and just pop a bit more yellow in, but that's absolutely fine. And then perhaps a little bit of more blue, so sort of sticking with the idea that this t-shirt really is blue. So let's just drop in some phthalo blue, the same blue I used in the sky. And then a little bit of moon glow just to bring out the shadows in these shorts. And again, just dotting it around in a few places. And can start to just bring out little shadows, like in the heads, in the faces, underneath lines of shorts and shirts. And there we go. I'm going to leave it there. So really loose and fun drops of colour. I would say leave it there. One last touch is just to add these shadows under people. And just make sure we got that as a unifying sort of shadow colour. few drops of water into that shadow just to loosen it up. Okay, so there we go. I really am going to stop there now. Got these loose people, nice shadows, interesting background pushing them forward, and no stress, just really fun little mostly continuous line drawing. And believe it or not, first attempt, so very happy with that. If you enjoyed this, please do let me know. Have a go at sketching me, but also have a go at sketching yourself or sketching someone else, and just seeing what you can do if you just relax, cut out some of those details in the face, but just get the atmosphere of the place and get a little punch of colour and a bit of fun going. Thank you very much for watching.